Hello YouTubers. Let me get this set up a little better. Today I wanted to talk about 2015 Ford Explorer Sport. We bought it roughly a month ago, and this is intended to be a short video, not to cover everything, just some of the basics, what my wife and I had thought about it, and our experience with it so far. I've got a cheat sheet here so I don't get off track. Specs of the car: it's the Sport, which has the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, producing 365 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds of torque. It has oodles of power. Very happy with it. The acceleration, I haven't tested it myself, but they say, I haven't timed it. They said everything I've read around 6 seconds, just over 6 seconds, between 6 and 6.5, which for a 4,900 pound vehicle, pretty impressive. The car we had before was a 2013 Santa Fe Sport 2.0 turbo, and coming from that, very impressive, very impressive. The remote start on this car also, very, very happy with it. Seems to have a tremendous range, go through quite a few walls of restaurants and stuff like that. Had no issues with it. Even been in the house where there were an outside wall and a couple interior walls 50, 60 foot away. Still works fine. Very happy with it. Noise. The interior of the car is extremely quiet. Very happy with it. Get on the highway, there's no wind noise. The engine's just as quiet as can be, partly because of the extra power. The engine spends most of its time, I'd say under 3,000 RPM, maybe less than that. Very, very quiet engine, and very quiet vehicle. I wanted to tell you too, the features on this one we got, it came with the dual panel sunroof, moonroof, whatever you want to call it, and it also has the adaptive cruise control. So that pretty much covers everything you can get on these vehicles. I think you could pay a little more and get the center console for the second row seats. We wanted the open aisle, so we opted not to get that. The ride quality, we drove a couple of Limiteds before this. We went back and forth between this and a Limited, and no comparison. The Limited was a much noisier vehicle. The engine was constantly running up there 4,500, 5,000 RPM, driving around town because it seemed like it needed more power. And I want to point out though, these vehicles don't seem like you're going as fast as they are. Even though this is a high-powered vehicle, it does 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, roughly. It doesn't seem that fast. And it's partly because, I guess, of the insulation and the quietness of the vehicle, but you can look down, think you're doing 35 miles an hour, you're doing 55. So it hides the fact that you're going as fast and accelerating as quick as you are. And because of that, the Limited, which, you know, still a respectable vehicle, with 290 horsepower, you're accelerating harder than you probably need to a lot of the time, because it feels like you're not picking up speed quick enough. That's just my experience. The back to the handling though, and the ride quality, or the ride quality is what I was on. The ride quality on this seems superior to the Limited. I thought the Sport would have a harsher feel to it, not be as comfortable. Not what I found. The Sport, my wife agrees, the Sport has a better ride to it, smoother, more comfortable. No comparison. The handling, you know, I've had this a month, haven't had any real experience with the handling other than just in town on boulevards and stuff, around corners, and very flat, very level, no handling issues. Very happy with that. Fit and finish, Ford's done a great job. No real complaints. All the body panels fit well, the dash, the interior, just everything. Very happy with it. Granted, I'm not coming from a Mercedes or a Range Rover, but coming from, you know, vehicles in the $30,000 price range, this one seems, being $50,000, seems like it's fantastic. Certainly competes with the European ones or not European, South Koreans where Hyundai's made, and certainly competes with them, if not beating them. Good job, Ford. The interior lighting, very happy with it. That may sound like an odd topic to cover, but this has the cup holders, the door panels, the door pockets where you open the door, as well as the bottom pockets, and footwells on both sides have colored LED lighting that you can adjust. Before you start the car, the sill plates down on the floor when you step in are blue, and when you start the car you can adjust what color it changes to, and we've got them all set to red, which is kind of nifty. The controls, very happy with them. The sync system works great. I'd heard horror stories about it being slow, not working, locking up. Had no problems with it. There's a very slight delay when you push a button sometimes, but you'd really have to be nitpicking to complain about that. It's just, maybe a fourth of a second. The adaptive cruise control, absolutely love it. I'm someone that uses cruise control all the time. I even use it in town. If there's not a lot of stoplights on a stretch of road, adaptive cruise control makes it that much more usable. It'll slow you down to 16 miles per hour, I believe. I haven't tested it out, but that's what I was told, and I've gotten down to 20 miles per hour or a little below, and it works fine. If they'd only make it stop the vehicle and then start back up, I'd be in heaven. The Sirius radio, we had XM. I know they've merged Sirius XM, but apparently they still have receivers for XM and receivers for Sirius. Our Hyundai had the XM, which apparently the signal was received from the south, whereas I say XM. Anyway, XM is the signals from the south more, and driving around town, if you went by a two-story building on the south side of the street, you'd lose signal. And this one, being a Sirius, have here in Missouri, we have great coverage, much better. Always complained about the XM radio until we got the Ford with the Sirius, and it's great. The rear seats on the 2015 are power fold down, and from what I'm told and what I've read, the 2014 didn't have that as an option. Well, on these it's standard rear third row power folding seats. The other thing I wanted to mention was that the headrests on the third row seats have to be manually, or did have to be manually folded down, I was told, or they could jam up the seat when you're folding it up into the floor. On the 2015s, that's automated, so it flops down the headrests, folds up the seat without any manual intervention needed. The only complaint I'd have with the vehicle, and it's a minor one, but, well, it's not minor, but it's something I can overlook because of all the things I do like about the vehicle. I wish they would have made it longer, not a lot, maybe 4, 5, 6 inches, and given the third row some decent leg room. It's worthless for anybody except maybe preteen kids. You can sit back there on short trips if you're a teenager or an adult, but or if you're short, I guess. But the leg room your legs are jammed into the second row seats, and of course, if you scoot the second row seats up to make it halfway livable in the third row, then the second row is no good for anybody very tall. And I'm 6 foot, which is probably about average, and I just don't know why they ruin the third row like that. If they just make the vehicle 4 or 5 inches longer, solve everybody's problems and be more like a minivan, but they chose not to for some reason. Well, I hope you enjoyed my review. This is the first video I've put on YouTube reviewing anything, but I was just very happy with Ford's Explorer, and wanted to share it with everybody. I had looked for reviews on the 2015 and didn't see many. They were all the 2014. So hope you liked it. Thanks.